Coming up on Around San Diego, a fire breaks out on the iconic Oceanside Pier. What we know right now about what happened. And Governor Newsom announced a bill that would allow abortions across state lines. Plus, Belmont Park at Mission Beach is getting a major renovation. A look at the new design that's set to reach new heights. Hello, and thank you so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in less than 30 minutes. We do begin with an update on our breaking news coverage out of North County after a fire broke out on the Oceanside Pier Thursday. Flames and smoke were seen coming from what was an old vacant restaurant, Ruby's Diner. That is where firefighters believe the blaze started. We do know that that fire is thankfully contained to just the end of the pier. You can download our free CBS 8 app or visit our website, cbs8.com, for updates. Now to our other top story. The man accused of entering a Linda Vista home and sexually assaulting a 5-year-old girl pleaded not guilty. 22-year-old Alejandro Confessor is facing 6 charges and the possibility of life in prison. The judge ordered he be held without bail. He'll be back in court this coming week. Well, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria joined mayors from other California cities in Sacramento this week, urging lawmakers to continue funding homelessness programs. Since 2018, the city of San Diego has received more than $83 million from the Homeless Housing Assistance and Prevention Grant Program, known as HAP. The state is facing a $68 billion deficit, and the current budget does not include funding for it. Mayor Gloria says that funding has made a difference.
In April of 2021, my city had roughly 1,000 shelter beds. Fast forward to today, we have over 2,000 shelter beds serving thousands of San Diegans.
Yeah, mayors are asking for at least $1 billion total for more HAP funding across the state. Well, we are working for you after a CBS 8 viewer reached out to us over a safety concern in the South Bay. So we visited a homeless encampment underneath the 15 freeway. Tents aren't unusual in that area, but this cave is. It appears people have been digging into the side of the embankment along the freeway. We found what looked like a couple of makeshift bedrooms. A woman who asked to not be identified says the hole has gotten much bigger in the past few days and looks dangerous.
I think I'm not the only one that's concerned. There's a lot of people concerned because it's not safe. But I mean, they're hard-headed.
Yeah, CBS 8 reported the cave to Caltrans, and they took immediate action. They advised people living there to pack up and leave. Caltrans told us they are now working to shore up the slope, but they also say the road above is safe for travel. Well, there are growing concerns over rampant prostitution in Bario Logan near San Diego's naval base. But what these women are doing is not technically illegal. In 2022, Governor Newsom signed Senate Bill 357, which repeals a statute that prohibits loitering with the intent to engage in prostitution. Some say they would like to see police have more of a presence in the area.
If you're confident enough to be out on a noon on a Tuesday for more than an hour and a half dressed in the street, you're not really worried about law enforcement, which tells me that they're not there.
Yeah, the city of San Diego and police acknowledge this is an issue they are actively working on resolving. Well, now we are getting a look at a major change to a beachfront stretch of Highway 101 in Carlsbad, known as Carlsbad Boulevard. As CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez tells us, Carlsbad City Council is deciding if the road should be moved to higher ground.
As sea levels rise, the city of Carlsbad is wanting to take precautionary measures to protect its roadways. They're trying to find ways that they can move the southbound lanes of Carlsbad Boulevard inland. Coastal erosion is posing a threat to Carlsbad Boulevard. Residents say waves are known to crash onto some areas of the road during high tide.
As waves continue to scour away at the sand, sea level rise and stronger storms surges are only going to intensify.
The city is considering rerouting the road from Manzano Drive to Island Way. Right now, a median separates the north and southbound lanes. The new project would put the lanes next to each other, along with cycling and pedestrian pathways. Tonight, residents shared their thoughts.
This attempt to narrow down lanes to one car and to mix walkers and bikers on the same roadway is problematic.
The city's Beach Preservation Commission is recommending a fast-tracked retreat now plan. A phased plan to break the project into 4 segments is also on the table. Members from the Surfrider Foundation want to see the project happen as quickly as possible.
Retreat now is the superior option by every conceivable climate resilience and beach preservation metric.
And this isn't just about infrastructure, it's about protecting our playground, our environment, and the way we access and experience the coast for generations to come.
Coastal access studies and cost analysis are still needed. The city's transportation director says the project includes building a bridge over Encinas Creek. He says that alone cost at least $150 million. The city is hoping to have a preliminary design plan for the project by 2028. Jasmine Ramirez, CBS 8.
Jasmine, thank you. Well, meantime, Governor Gavin Newsom has announced a new initiative to help women from Arizona wanting to have an abortion undergo that procedure safely. Newsom proposed Senate Bill 233, which would grant Arizona doctors temporary medical licenses in California so they can perform the procedure over the state line. This comes after Arizona reinstated an 1864 state law that bans an abortion in really every case except if the mother's life is at risk.
We want to lend our hand, not just our hearts, and we want to create a framework of real support. I said to my staff, mostly women, I said, I don't know how everything just doesn't stop. And we're not out there saying enough. This would never happen. If it was men, we know that.
The legislation is expected to pass and would take effect as soon as Newsom signs it into law. On Wednesday, the Arizona State House narrowly approved a repeal of the near total abortion ban. The Arizona Senate will take it up this week. Well, a Coast Guard petty officer found guilty of manslaughter in the death of her 5-month-old daughter has been released from the Miramar brig. As CBS 8's David Godfredson reports, she spent 2 years behind bars before an appellate court finally overturned that conviction.
How does it feel to be out of custody?
A breath of fresh air.
Coast Guard Petty Officer Kate Richard walked out of the Miramar brig on April 18th. 4 years to the day after she found her 5-month-old daughter, Scarlett, dead in her crib inside a home she shared with her husband in Kodiak, Alaska. A military jury acquitted her of murder charges in 2022, but convicted her of manslaughter.
The first night I got there, I was on the floor in a holding cell, cement, with nothing around me, on the ground in a fetal position, bawling, saying, I didn't do this, I shouldn't be here.
She spent nearly 800 days behind bars until her conviction was finally overturned last month on appeal.
With a wrongful conviction, you lose not only, in my case, my daughter, my only child. I lost my marriage. It broke apart my marriage. It broke apart many friends and acquaintances. My reputation in the Coast Guard is ruined.
The Coast Guard yeoman remains on active duty and spoke to me on Zoom from a Coast Guard base in Los Angeles.
I understand about postpartum depression.
Her conviction was based in part on this interrogation video and the fact that she admitted to investigators that she suffered from postpartum depression.
I didn't kill her. I didn't hurt my daughter at all. And just because I had postpartum depression doesn't mean that I was a murderer. I was a killer.
An autopsy found the baby died of asphyxiation, a cause of death that can include sudden infant death syndrome.
Do you think she died of SIDS?
Yeah, I really do. That's what I believe this entire time. That's what the ER report said.
Richard says she will soon be transferred to Virginia.
This weekend, I sat on by the ocean watching the sunset, crying and crying and crying and crying because I couldn't save her. That still sticks in my head that the one person I couldn't save was my own daughter.
The Coast Guard declined to comment on the case, but military prosecutors could still refile manslaughter charges against Richard, although her defense attorney tells me at this point that seems unlikely. Reporting from MCAS Miramar, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
David, thank you. Well, a new affordable housing complex is coming to City Heights. The City Heights Community Development and Wakeland Housing broke ground on the new Quattro building. City officials, community members, and the development's backers attended the ceremony. Artists even painted a mural during the speeches.
It's going to become a beautiful housing development with space for families of all walks of life, but it's also going to preserve the opportunity for folks who grow up here.
Yeah, the $98 million housing project will build around 120 affordable apartments. There will also be a new community center on the property. Construction is expected to finish by fall of 2025. Well, a local high school band was robbed of dozens of instruments. Those details ahead after a quick break. Well, a Ventura County high school band is out of dozens of instruments after they say they were stolen in Chula Vista. The Newberry Park Adventist concert band was visiting for a performance in Tierra Santa. They were staying at the La Quinta Hotel, and their van full of instruments was parked out front. When they woke up, most of those instruments were gone. They're worth about $20,000 to $25,000. The band has 2 more concerts, and their community has really rallied to help make them happen.
Many families have come forward, and in fact, we have one family that has a stash of flutes.
Yeah, so they tell us that they filed police reports for every single instrument. If you do see or suspect any of them being sold online, please contact Chula Vista Police. Well, Belmont Park has gone through a roller coaster of makeovers throughout its lifetime, and this next phase is reaching new heights. CBS 8's Abby Black shares big plans for the iconic Southern California destination.
Next year, Belmont Park turns 100 years old, and throughout its centennial life, the park has evolved. Well, there's high hopes for its next makeover.
I feel like I'm on a vacation even though I'm a local.
That local Southern California vibe is breathing new life at the iconic Belmont Park in Mission Beach.
We love the beach, and that is who Belmont Park is, and we want to make sure that tourists and locals get to enjoy that here.
Steve Thomas is the president of business operations for PEMG, the new management company that operates Belmont Park.
I have grown up coming to Belmont Park in all types of different stages. I'm in high school, used to come down here for MTV spring break. And then when I was a little bit older, going to Canes and enjoying the music venue, seeing all kinds of bands there. And then it's funny ending up working here and getting to manage it. It has been quite a ride.
Speaking of rides.
So this is going to be 3 new rides, which we have a swing carousel, a ride called the Disco 24, and a ride called the Blendez.
Thomas shared renderings of the plans that gives Belmont Park's northwest side more of an open concept feel from the boardwalk.
I spent a lot of time in the first couple of years here just talking to people on the boardwalk, and a lot of questions were, I don't know where Belmont Park is. And I was, well, you're right in front of it.
The arcade walls are coming down to create what they call a barcade, but the official name is still in the works.
But this is going to be open access and open air to where you're going to have food and drinks right here, but also attached to the arcade and the Midway side and connecting you into this plaza and the beach side.
The Midway has recently been revamped. The Giant Dipper got a fresh coat of paint. There's shaded areas, and the Tilt-A-Whirl is sweet treat themed.
And by the end of this year, we're going to have a play structure. That's the broken hull of the ship out in front, where kids exit through the play structure.
The food court has a local feel with Pizza Port replacing Round Table. There are photo ops in almost every corner and smiles.
So we want you to have an elevated experience that every family can enjoy and afford.
The California Coastal Commission still needs to approve many aspects of the estimated $20 million project, but the goal is to break ground on the open concept phase in 2026.
The transformation is amazing.
At Belmont Park, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Abby, good stuff. Yeah, that roller coaster, one of the best. Cool design. Hey, well, this week, Cabrillo National Monument also opened a new trail. It's named the Oceanside Trail and is a half-mile long. It connects the Whale Watch and Kelp Forest and overlooks the tide pool area of the park. This will allow visitors to safely access the tide pools without needing a car. Park officials started planning the design back in 2011, but had to wait until more funding was given to complete the project. The Oceanside Trail will be open daily from 9 to 4. Coming up, there's a bug creeping around San Diego County that really could severely impact citrus crops. Our Sean Stiles explains how you can help stop it. San Diego's citrus industry brings in more than $100 million a year, but there is one bug that could really severely impact citrus crops. In this Earth 8 report, Sean Stiles explains how you can help protect our ecosystem by inspecting trees in your own backyard.
This is a healthy citrus tree, but if the Asian citrus psyllid were to get on it, it could kill it in no time. Local growers of citrus are controlling the pest right now, but we're asking homeowners to do the same.
The psyllid is the carrier of Huanglongbing, or citrus greening disease. Garrett Cooper is the deputy director of the Department of Weights and Measures for the County of San Diego.
This disease has devastated citrus in Florida and Texas, and so there's a lot of effort going on right now to really contain it.
That's because it spreads easy.
It's caused by a bacteria, and so the psyllid just carries the bacteria from tree to tree.
California has a huge citrus crop, generating $7 billion annually, providing 22,000 jobs. Here in San Diego, the commercial crop brings in $138 million and has been spared from citrus greening disease.
It has not been detected in any commercial groves as of yet. So it's mainly been detected at residential properties,
which have all been quarantined.
We have 3 quarantines in place to try and, again, contain it and make sure it doesn't spread. So there's one in Oceanside, one in Rancho Bernardo, and one in Valley Center.
Take care of controlling that psyllid population.
David Ross is a senior manager at Walter Anderson Nursery and contacted me to get the word out to homeowners.
They need to inspect their trees to look for Asian citrus psyllid. It's just a tiny little dark-colored bug that gets onto the new growth at a 45-degree angle.
The problem is there is no cure for citrus greening disease.
It only takes one tree to attract the psyllid. And because we cannot control the disease, we need to control the bug that spreads the disease.
That means inspecting your citrus trees regularly and treating them twice a year or when the psyllid is found.
One of the best sprays that I recommend for citrus is horticultural oil. It's just a light mineral oil, and it kills by smothering, so insects won't develop a resistance to it.
Ross says don't spray when bees are present on trees and wait until the evening when they go back to their hive.
The psyllid is usually on the outside, but scales and other bugs are going to be on the inside, so spraying through the tree and making sure you get the backs of the leaves is important as well.
Don't let California citrus disappear.
The California Department of Food and Agriculture has a hotline. It's 800-491-1899, and they also have a web address for questions that I'll include in the web story. A final message from David Ross to homeowners with citrus.
I hope they will see this and start becoming part of the solution.
Protecting the citrus in your backyard is as simple as inspecting your trees on a regular basis and treating once or twice a year or when the psyllid's present. Sean Stiles, CBS 8.
Good stuff as always, Sean. Thanks. That will do it for us. Thank you for your time. Thanks for staying informed. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take good care.